What is good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only NIO stock, what you should be looking after for the future. I'm also going to do some in-depth technical analysis and give you guys my price prediction for tomorrow based off the charts are showing and based off the data is suggesting. I'm also going to break down what's happening to the markets, how this could affect NIO, what's going on with Elon Musk, and how this could actually affect NIO too, and also what NIO put on their Twitter page, which is very important for the future. Now, before I break anything down, before I get into any more details, I do have to mention a couple of things before starting. Personally, I'm not a financial planner. Don't take any of this as financial advice whatsoever. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire NEO community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below. Deposit any amount of money into the account. You're guaranteed up to 12 free stocks, each worth up to $2,000. And the best part is, any of these 12 free stocks could be a free NEO share, a free Tesla share, or a mix of all of them. It's a limited time offer. The offer ends in just 2 weeks. Check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So looking at NEO, this thing is almost down about 4% for the day. And overall, it is taking a bit of a hit. But the thing is, there were some other things going on in the market that were actually very different from this. So if we go down right here, we're starting to see a slight sell-off on the SPY, the SPX, and the NASDAQ near the end of the day. But overall, they have been actually trading pretty strongly, and we are seeing some nice price action to the upside. And the overall daily candle is still looking kind of nice right now. So seeing this very, very nice looking hammer for the day, which we could end up seeing, would be a pretty good sign for us. And this would be a very good sign for a big reversal. But when it comes to the markets, still have to be very, very careful because we are seeing so many fake outs here and there. So there isn't really a sign of a major trend reversal except for this like last minute sell off in the markets. And I have to be honest with everyone. It looks like the markets have been pushing up, but now we are seeing some resistance on SPY at about 380. So now we're starting to see the QQQ, the Nasdaq turn a little bit to the red. So I'm not necessarily fixated on one specific direction, but it does look like some more downside could actually come for tomorrow as a result of this. Now, what does this mean for NEO? Overall, NEO is pushing up a bit, but we are seeing this big dichotomy between NEO, Tesla, the EVs, and the overall market. Because you have to remember, the overall market was actually pushing up for a large majority of today. The SPY was actually pushing up. It just got a last minute sell off, but it was pushing up pretty hard for almost the entire day, and it was green for a large chunk of that. However, NEO and Tesla ended up just selling off pretty hard, especially Tesla. Tesla came down very hard today, guys. Big hit from Tesla's end. It did get a small bounce off 233, but after that, it continues to come to the downside, especially right now. So what's going on? What does Elon Musk have to do with NEO? What does this have to do with the markets? Well, right now, Elon Musk is basically going to be buying Twitter. We all heard about this settlement, and there are lots of nuances from legal ramifications when it comes to this case. But the thing about this is Tesla investors are worried. They're worried that if Elon Musk buys Twitter, how is he going to be the CEO of Tesla? Just think about it. He has SpaceX on his hands. He has other companies as well. He has Tesla. And now if he's acquiring Twitter, he's going to put lots of effort into that. People worry that he may not have as much effort or as much energy to be putting into Tesla because of this. So seeing that Elon Musk may have more things outside of what his daily schedule is, this is what's making many Tesla investors kind of like antsy right now. And we are starting to see this big sell off because technically him buying Twitter does not benefit Tesla as much as some people would think, at least as of right now. So this is important because now Tesla's seeing this major sell-off. Tesla crashed pretty hard yesterday after the news came out, but then it got a slight bounce. But after that, we got another big sell-off for today. This is important because this affects the SPY, the overall market, and also NEO. We know that NEO has a tendency of actually following the overall market, and also Tesla. Tesla does play a role in how NEO ends up moving. And I'll give you guys an example. NEO was pumping up for the day. There was no reason for NEO to see this big drop from 1688 all the way down to 16.3. Why did NEO go down like this yesterday? It's because the big news came out. Why did NEO have to drop this hard today? It's because Tesla, the overall market, are actually showing some signs of red. But the bigger thing would be Tesla coming down after the Elon Musk deal. That will play a role on lots of EVs, which tend to trade together. Now, OPEC did announce that they are going to be cutting oil production for a larger period of time, and they're going to cut it by like 2 million barrels per day. Now, this is basically a sign that gas prices are going to be going up. Once again, not the best of signs for the markets, at least for the time being. Now, what this means for NIO is if the market does see another big rejection, which is very possible, we could enter another capitulation phase where the market continues to see a sell off. But right now, we're not seeing true confirmation of that yet. And NIO does have potential to push up a little bit more if the market allows it. So, what's going on with the data for NIO? Right now, NIO's volume has dropped, so we're dropping a little bit lower volume than the average, but overall it's still not in the best of stages. If I go down here, the short volume percentage is likely going to start coming up just a bit for today because we are seeing some shorts kind of like piling in. Now, one good thing about the markets, however, is the fact that if you look at the put to call ratio, it went up again. This means that since yesterday, a lot of institutions, a lot of people are buying in on those puts, especially retail. What does this tell us about the markets? Well, what tends to happen is when one side is too over leveraged, we tend to see the market makers take advantage of these retail investors and they start to actually cause the opposite to happen. So most people are betting on the market to crash or like have a big drop by October 10th, which is just, I'm sorry, October 7th, which is just 2 days away. So this is important because okay, now Wall Street is saying everyone's voting on that. Let's do the opposite, right? That's what the composite man tends to do in Wyckoff theory. So now the market's actually pushing up a bit. We're actually pretty green overall compared to the last like week. And so far, we are seeing the price price ratio is actually becoming more stagnant for NIO. This is a sign of more stability in the price. And right now, if SPY continues to push up, if Tesla finally gets that bounce, it could help NIO too. I'm hoping for a nice bounce. Now, historically, Thursdays tend to be at least somewhat green days. We have a higher win percentage for the green, so I'm hoping we get some green tomorrow. And overall, the data is showing an increase in the short interest for NIO. So some shorts are piling in. So that makes me kind of like wary at the same time. So with Elon Musk buying Twitter, if this is causing some red for like certain stocks and EVs, that it may play a role in what's happening to NIO, which is why you have to be very cautious. NIO has this gap down at 15.5, so be very wary of that. We also have a gap all the way up in that 17.34 zone. So it does seem a little bit more likely that NIO is going to fill the gap down here first and hopefully get a bounce around that 15.4 to 15.2 zone. So that's essentially what I'm seeing maybe for tomorrow. So we could have a little bit more red before we get a nice bounce. So that's where I do think NIO could actually, excuse me, end up dropping to. So if NIO comes down like this into open, we could see another sell off into open, guys. So be very careful here. We could fill the gap around here. That would be like around that 15.5 zone. But it is possible for us to see that balance either between 15.43. If it's not 15.43, then the 15.2s could be where this thing ends up dropping to. And I'm hoping for another nice bounce right here if the market does prop up. Now, there is potential for Tesla to push up a bit, but it's not confirmed just yet because overall Tesla is still kind of like dropping, and that's why we have to be very, very careful when it comes to how this is moving. Now, if Tesla were to crash and the market does kind of react to Elon Musk making other big like Twitter announcements, that is going to have an effect on NIO as well, and that's why it's important to be very cautious right now. Tesla does have a gap up here. Are we seeing signs of it getting filled? Not just yet, guys. I wouldn't be too fixated on that yet. Please be very careful, be very mindful. Tesla's down almost like 4% as well. This will have an effect on NIO and also what Elon Musk is doing. Now, this is just how the market works. I mean, sometimes it's very weird and unintelligent sometimes. But the good thing about NIO is we are still seeing some very bullish indicators out there because overall NIO's fundamentals are just continuing to get stronger and stronger. We have German expansion very soon. The Berlin event is coming in just a couple of days. We're almost there. It's going to be October 7th. And that to me could be a big game changer for the company. Now, when it comes to resistance and support zones, we have resistance at 16.14, maybe like from there to like 16.2. Also 16.5, 16.8, and 17 for support. 15.5, 15.21, and then followed by 14.74 if we do end up going that low. Hoping for a bounce tomorrow, guys. So please be very, very careful. Do what you have to do, and I'll see you guys in in the next video. The last thing I want to talk about before I actually end the video is this right here, which is still good news for NIO. Not only are they expanding, but the last thing I want to say is NIO's co-founder and president discusses the logic behind NIO's user operations approach that approach the company's innovative approach for the future. So once again, super bullish news because what we're seeing is big improvements being made to their operations on a daily basis. So for the long term, I'm very bullish. For the short term, we could see a little bit of red, guys. Anyways, thank you so much for listening. I'll see you guys in the next one for real, and peace out.